Bootstrap is incredibly powerful. It's sleek, intuitive, and it's so easy to work with once you begin working with it to develop your front-end code. And you can do it a lot faster and easier using Bootstrap. It uses HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So even with just basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can really get started with Bootstrap and create amazing web designs. So for Bootstrap, before we get into the actual downloading of Bootstrap and setting it up on your system, there's quite a few options that you can go and you could just jump into and start creating your own Bootstrap themes. Now Bootstrap, it's important to remember with Bootstrap that this is a mobile first approach. So when you are designing web content using Bootstrap, it's a good way to think of it that you're thinking of your design as mobile first. So that's why within all of these interfaces, we've got the ability to look at the different sizes and the different size devices. And that's the key to understanding about Bootstrap, is understanding that it's built from a mobile first perspective, thinking about mobile first and then designing out from there. So it's built to be responsive, and once you look at Bootstrap in a responsive way, everything really begins to make sense with why Bootstrap is the way it is. Bootstrap is also supported across all the popular browsers, so you don't have to worry about compatibility. So if you are designing your own CSS for responsive, you've got to always take into consideration what browser supports what options and what CSS and what isn't supported. So you don't have to worry about that with Bootstrap. It's universal across all the popular browsers. So over here in the background, we've got a few websites open. So these are some of my favorite websites in order to jump into Bootstrap quickly. And we see here that at bootply.com, we've got an option here to do templates. So all we have to do is select the template that we want to use. And we see that down here at the bottom, there's a preview of that template and what it looks like. And it's also got all of that source code in there. So we could jump in, we can customize it, we can copy, paste it into our editor and begin to use that. We can do a carousel layout. So here it gives you a message because I'm actually flipping through the different layouts. And all the code that you need is right here within the console here. You've got your CSS here, you've got your JavaScript window, and as well you've got your HTML code and your preview here below. And again, it's got all of those options where you can click through and you can see the different size devices as well. So I can switch to a mobile view if I want to see what it looks like. And again, it's that mobile that's really key to things. So here we've got bunch of these really standard Bootstrap templates, and these are really a good starting place to begin to design out your Bootstrap website. So what you can do is you can take a quick look at these and you can begin to customize them. And again, that preview's there at the bottom. We are using Bootstrap, so we can select the version of Bootstrap, we can select the version of jQuery, we can include add-ons, plugins, other Bootstrap extensions as well. And we can also switch between different themes. So, and what themes do is they actually change the color of Bootstrap. So we can flip between those if we want, and we can have a whole different theme and look, and really we'd have pretty much a good starting point for developing our website. So if we had our basic starter, carousel, landing page, and so on. And again, you can see how it's going to look like, and from this point you can just simply copy the code out onto your own website. Make sure that you get the JavaScript and the CSS as well, or you could just download it. You can see what it looks like and set that up on your own website. So I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger because it's kind of small there, and we can really begin to see what that looks like. So this is definitely a great resource to have. Jump in with Bootstrap, and throughout the course we're going to be outlining what all of these options here mean, all of the syntax here, so you can jump in and you can customize the syntax. We're going to be going over all of the popular elements, HTML elements, and CSS that we need to use, the CSS classes that we need to use to interact with Bootstrap. And that's what Bootstrap really essentially is. It's HTML structure, and then in order to add Bootstrap, all we have to do is add classes. So another really great website is Layout It. And again, this is another amazing website. You can really build out your theme so easily, build out your Bootstrap interface. All it is just dragging and dropping. You can set different columns. And again, we're going to get more into this in the upcoming lessons, more about the structure, the grid structure of Bootstrap. We're also going to be going over all of this CSS. So you have the ability to simply drag and drop items in. We're also going to be talking about all the different components in Bootstrap. So these are all the main components, and they're all going to be accomplishing a different look. So all you have to do is drag and drop it, and you can use a lot of this as placeholders for something like the breadcrumbs or the pagination. So this would be done either through the jQuery, or it's done usually through the server end, and that you're outputting how you're paging your web pages. So a lot of these can just serve as placeholders for additional content to be pulled in. And even something like this hello world, it's just simply a good placeholder. And then of course we've got the JavaScript components. So we've got those modals, and if I'm going too quickly, I'm going to be covering off all of these things later on. This is just to show you how literally you could jump in and create a website in minutes. So here we could just launch that modal. We've got the ability to do a preview. So this is what that website looks like, the one that I've been dragging and dropping, all these odd components. And of course, once you're actually designing your website, you're probably not going to want to be just dragging in random components, but this is a good way to kind of get a better idea of what's available on the website. So we've got our navigation there, and then when you're ready, all you have to do is do download. So you can actually download, you could create an account with them, sign in with Facebook, Twitter, Google, or register with their email, or you could just continue with a non-logged in version. And then this gives you the ability to download the zip file, and you can also copy and paste in the HTML that you've customized within this editor. So going on to another one that's really great is Boot Theme, and this is another really cool one that really does give you the ability to create some amazing, awesome themes here. And again, really quickly, you could also import themes. You could randomize the colors if you want. And again, that's a really good thing about Bootstrap, is because there's just so much you can do with Bootstrap. You also have the drag and drop components here. So we can drag and drop different components and have them update here on the website itself. And then again, we do have this option of flipping through the different screen sizes. And again, this is going to be really key to Bootstrap and understanding Bootstrap. And then also we have the view, so we can preview it and see what it looks like. And we can download it, generate the files, and so on. So really great, another really great resource, theme generator, Boot Theme as well. So there's quite a lot you can do here for Bootstrap. One more that I did want to feature, I didn't want to jump through, and I know I've been going through quite a few different options here. So again, it's a matter of personal preference, and this just goes to show that you don't even need an editor on your own system. You can just use ones like the one that's Bootply. So with Initializer, you have all of these options you can just get that downloaded, customized Bootstrap, or you could customize it yourself. So you can add Modernizer, you could minify the jQuery, and also the support here. So this is another way to get Bootstrap and build out semi-customized. So this is boilerplate, HTML boilerplate. So it's not really a customized template, but it will give you a starting point to get creating your web content. And then, of course, there's this editor that I'm going to be using also within this course. So Pingendo, so simplest app for Bootstrap prototyping. And it gives you some information here. So I do have that open, and we were looking at this in the previous lesson as well. So this is another one that's it's just so easy to use this. And if you don't have an editor, if you're looking for something just for Bootstrap, it might be worthwhile to take a look at Pingendo as well as an easy way to generate Bootstrap themes. So with any one of these resources, you can get up and going quickly for Bootstrap.